about doing things one way.
And maybe that one way is the wrong way. My mama always did it like this. Well, your mama ain't God. My daddy always did it like this. Well, check this out. Your daddy ain't God neither. And there are things that we were exposed to by family members and loved ones. And just because we love them and like them don't mean God likes our ways. It's all right. I came to pick a fight. The first sentence of the preaching. It's all right because it can be your way or it could be Yahweh, meaning God's way. Listen. Just because you want just because you're used to doing something a certain kind of way does not mean it's the best way. And in 2018, we got caught up in doing some stuff because it was always done that way. When in reality, if it would have been done a different way, perhaps things could have been a little bit better. You see, it's your way and then there's God's way. It's your way and then it's the right way. And just because it's the way you've always done it, here's again, it doesn't make it the best way. Proverbs 14:12 puts it like this. Sit up and get this, because Proverbs 14:12 puts it like this. It says, there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. I'm playing last night with Tiana. She on the front row folding paper, putting something in the envelope. You putting some money in there, little girl. And I'm playing this game. I don't know if it's called piano or what the game is called. Shalia calls it piano, or it's Pasa Caglia. I don't know. But it's this game and this music is playing in your ear and it's booming and you got to hit these things that's coming down the screen on the iPad. And she was teaching Lois. And Lois like, oh, that's good. All right. And then they brought it to the table to me. And now I'm hitting the game. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm talking trash. And then I look at my score and I look at their score. Whose score I look at? My score. And then I look at, oh, y'all ain't gonna talk back? It's fine. I want to go too. I look at my score, and then I look at their score. I look at my score, and then I look at their score. And guess what? Lois' score was higher than mine, and Ty's her score was way higher than mine. She has this little weight. She do it with her thumb, and I was trying to hit it with my finger, and Key over there doing hair, and I'm just trying to hit it with my finger. And see, I don't understand that you have to be so on point in the kid. You have to hit the things while they're coming down, not try to get ahead of them. And if you miss, the game is over. If you miss, the game is over. So you have to be in sync with the stuff that's coming down while the music is in your ear. And I had my way, Lois had her way, and listen, Tiana had her way. And Tiana had the best score, and she's 7. Yeah, she's 7. So I had to get even though I was doing it my way, my method wasn't the best. I had to get help from somebody that had a better method. I got a better method for playing the game from a 7-year-old. Sometimes there are those that are younger than us that we can get better methods from. There are people, listen, that we may think we know more about stuff, but maybe they know more about things. The Bible talks about how a child shall lead them. Sometimes instead of us telling them what to do, we need to listen to what they're saying, and it may give an answer for why they're doing what they're doing. I'm going somewhere with this, but there is a way that seems right to a man. But listen, but at the end thereof are the ways of death. A 7-year-old taught me how to do something better. I'm moving. But listen, it's amazing. So our daughter is in school. I'm not going to pick on her too much. She's in school to do hair, and she going to finish. She going to work somewhere, and then we going to get a salon, and then she going to pay me all the money back she owed me, and daddy going to get a better car, and life going to be good, right? And she going to make a whole lot of money. But listen, we've owned salons. We managed salons before, and we know for a fact, listen, there is a certain way more than just doing good hair or providing a better service. People want stuff to be timely. So Lois been talking to Kiaka about being faster because she's a perfectionist, about being faster. And I'm sitting at the table, I'm listening to talk. I'm like, boo, did you ever tell Kiki how customers used to walk out of the salon on you when you were a perfectionist? Did you ever tell Kiki how you would come home crying, listen, because you missed money because you spent too much time doing a particular deal? Did you tell Kiki how the old owner at a salon you worked at, Maximum in Pine Hills in Orlando, how Chris Clark would tell you how to mold people and get them under the dryer, and they ain't leaving once they hair wet and they sitting under the dryer, and that gives you more time? Did you ever tell Kiki about that? And Laura's like, nah, boo, I never told her. I say, well, I just did. Here's the reality, because even though my daughter does a quality service, her methods have to change. And many of us up under the sound of my voice, listen, we got the right motive, but our methods need to change. So when I cut through the path to get you to the text today, I need you to understand you can have all the best intentions in the world. You can want to help and do the right thing all you want. But if your methods, listen, if your motives are right, but your methods are wrong, then guess what? You're not going to reach where you want to reach. There is a way that seems right to a man, but the end of that way, listen, it leads to death. Finally, I'm done. You pulled up, you seen we got the little flowers across the street, and they had a beautification project on Blake on yesterday. I didn't plan on helping. I was just going to ride by. They was doing the school, they was doing the street. What was I going to do? Ride. I was going to do what? I was just going to ride with me. I was just going to. Don't nobody want to ride with me? Okay, all right, thank you, Nakia. Nakia, ride with me. See, we both born in November. It's good. So listen, I was just going to ride by, messed around and got out. Next thing I know, I was carrying plants at Emma Jewel. I was carrying plants at other places. Next thing I know, I got a shovel in my hand. Jazz, your pastor had a shovel in his hand. I don't even cut my own grass, but your pastor had a shovel in his hand. And here I am, because there's a way, right? There is a better way, right? I'm going somewhere with this. I'm digging with a square shovel. Dude, Bo, say, hey, man, what's your name? Like, Jarvis. He like, hey, Jarvis, you don't dig with a square shovel. You dig with a round shovel. Hold on, Bo ain't from around here. I'm from around here. But I had to listen to Bo, because Bo knows. Ain't that funny? Bo knows? Okay. That may be before your time. Don't worry about it. I'm dating myself right now. Don't worry about it. But I listened to Bo. And I switched out my square shovel for what, Tasha? A round shovel. So now I'm digging with a round shovel. I'm putting the plant in there. I'm covering it back up. Now I'm trying to cover the dirt back up with a round shovel instead of square shovel. You don't rake the dirt with a round shovel. You're supposed to do it with a square shovel. Listen, so by the time we worked down the street in the other people's church and everywhere else, I knew the difference between a round shovel, a square shovel, and how to use a rake effectively. Listen, the work wasn't as bad when I got the right tool. Please don't miss this part of the sermon. You really don't have to go to sleep or play on your phone. If you use the right tool, even though you're doing the same work, then the work won't be so hard. It's stuff in your parenting. It's stuff in your money. It's stuff in your health. And you trying to go about it all the wrong way, because it's the way you've always seen it done. It's what was convenient. There is a way that seemed right to a man, but that way leads to death. Thank you, Zori. Zori be helping me preach on first Sundays. Let me cut to the path and get you out, because when we go to the text today, same thing happened. Give me about 12 to 15 more minutes. I'm going to get you out. I'm ready to go too. We get to the text. Some amazing things happen in Mark, the 6th chapter. But one thing that happens amazing is that Jesus heals all these people. He does all this stuff, and then these people get hungry. And when these people get hungry, in like the 30-something verse, the people get hungry, and because the disciples was Jesus, and they didn't have no problem praying for the people and stuff, but now it's time to feed the people. And now since it's time to feed the people, the disciples got the nerve to tell Jesus, oh, let's send these people away though. So they can make it to the store before the chicken place closed. Let's send them up the street, Jesus, because it's going to cost too much if they stay here any longer. I'm going somewhere with this. Jesus says in verse 37, you can put it up on the screen. He say, you yourselves give them something to eat. Jesus answered, They asked, do you want us to go spend 200 silver coins on bread in order to feed them? That ain't what I asked you, and that ain't what I told you. What I told you to do was feed the people. It's amazing how when things get costly, we want to send folks away. It blows me away how when more is required, we quit on people. When she did everything you said, when he listened to everything you said, you loved him and you supported him and you were at every game. But the moment they talk back, the moment they needed a little more leadership, a little more parenting, somebody to encourage them a little more, then all of a sudden we send them away. Church, be careful. Family members, be careful that when folks push us away, we don't need to send them away. Maybe, just maybe, that's the time when God wants you to talk about all your mistakes and talk about how you was rude and disrespectful and off the chain. You ought to see your face right now. Sometimes we be so quick to send folks away. But Jesus trying to teach them a better way, right? Because that was the way. When people wanted much or asked for too much, you send them away. But Jesus say, nah, you feed them. They never asked, what can we do? They never said, I need to take inventory. Please don't check out on this part of the sermon, because I don't see any of the disciples trying to find out what they can do to help these people. All they wanted to do was send these people away. And we call that being spiritual. And we call that being real. No, that's being lazy. And that's not being godly, because you didn't even try. We should be taking inventory. But instead, we give directions without discernment. It's so frustrating. I don't know if you ever been here. And I know I got to hurry up. But I don't know if you ever been here. It's so frustrating. Oh, man, it's so crazy and frustrating when you humble yourself enough to ask somebody for something. You ever needed something from somebody and you asked and didn't want to ask? Just me and Lando. Ain't nobody else going to be real. You humbled yourself enough. You were frustrated. You humbled yourself enough to ask. And folks have opinions about you before you even open up your mouth. People got something to say about you. You know what I like about this text? The people never went to Jesus and asked for anything. But the disciples paid enough attention to see that the people were hungry. But they didn't plan enough or care enough to see how they could meet their needs. Come on, church, we got to do better. Come on, family, I'm looking right at you. We got to do better. So you saw I had a need, but you didn't see how you can help fill the need. Oh, so you saw little Junebug was going down the wrong road, but you never had enough sense to connect your connections to connect to little Junebug, so little Junebug ain't got to stay on that road forever. It's okay. I'm preaching good now because y'all quiet. I'm preaching better than you responding, but here it goes. It blows me away that we want to send everything off and push everything off when maybe, just maybe, God, for such a time as this, put you in a messed up situation so you can help other people in a messed up situation. Lord, have mercy. Let me get out of here and cut through the path. But listen, Jesus shows that they were connected to a little boy. And somebody up under the sound of my voice is connected to more than what you think you connected to. You're stronger than what you think you are. You're smarter than what you think you are. You're greater than what you think you are. And no weapon formed against you gonna prosper. There's something special about you. There's something unique about you. And Jesus said, y'all thought y'all didn't have it, but we had it here the whole time. Jesus feeds 20,000 people. Let's just speed up the process. He feeds these people. Miracles happen. Folks are fed. 12 baskets are picked up, and Jesus says, let's get away. Look at me. I got to smash the gas. But whenever God uses you in a major way, and right after God do it for you, for your families and your loved ones by using you in whatever way, when God uses you, look at me, when God uses you, the first thing you need to do is get away with him. Every time he moves through you, you need to get away with him. Jesus says, let's get out of here. I need you to get on a boat. It's time to get away, because I don't need you getting caught up like you did it. I don't need you acting like you got all the sense. I don't need you acting like it wouldn't have happened about you. I did it. I made it happen, and I used your hands. I made it happen, and I used your mouth. I made it happen, and I used your account. There's nothing like God using you. There's nothing like God moving in your life. But when he begins to do that, you have to get away. Somebody say, get away. Get away to do what, Pastor? Get away to write. Get away to plan. Get away to listen. Get away to pray. Now, getting away ain't like going away, because many of us have gone away on trips, vacations, and all kinds of stuff and came back more tired than I was when I left. But sometimes it's time for us to get away. Look at somebody, say, there has to be a better way. Let me get to the text. So now finally Jesus is up on the mountain. The disciples on the boat. They only going across the street. They only going across the wayway, the lake. This ain't like no ocean. They only going across the little wayway to the lake, right? Jesus up in the mountain. Jesus noticed something. He sees them where they are. First point, got to be a better way. He's coming down. Tell somebody he's coming down. He comes down. He's gonna come see about you. Verse 48. Jesus saw his disciples straining at the oars. Don't miss this. They're straining at the oars, comma, why, Pastor? Because they were rowing against the wind. You listening to me? 2018, there's some areas in our life we were rowing against the wind. There's some areas in our life we were doing things that were counterproductive. We were sabotaging our own success, just contrary. Take 5 steps forward to take 10 steps back, just contrary. How you going to speak positive about something and negative about something in the same sentence? Just, yeah. God love me, but them church folks don't love me. That's so stupid. You a church folk. So what you talking about? God don't love me, but such and such do. Well, God created love, and love is God. I'm going somewhere with this. They're rowing against the wind. They have activity, but no productivity. They're moving, but they're not going forward. You know you can have a lot of activity and have no productivity. This is amazing. And this is why you ought to get excited today. Check out. The entire east side of the Sea of Galilee is a mountainous area with steep slopes leading to a plateau. Are you listening to me? Up one of the slopes was a good place to pray away from the crowd. So Jesus is away from the crowd, but he can see the people. Tell your neighbor, I'm still in his sight. I know they counted me out, but I'm still in God's sight. I know it looked like I was losing, but I'm still in God's sight. I know y'all forgot about me, but I'm still on God's radar. I'm still on heaven's frequency. Listen, that's a lesson for everybody that may be struggling in the deep waters of your life right now. You may be struggling in the deep waters of your life right now. You ought to look at Jesus walking on water to get to you. You ought to look at Jesus making his way to your situation. You may feel overwhelmed, but guess what? He's coming. You may feel like you're drowning, but guess what? He's coming. You may be working wrong, but he's coming. Help is on the way. And many of us in 18 and almost started off in 19. Many of us are working, but we working wrong. These guys are working too hard to only be at this level. They put too much energy into this to not succeed. And some of us up under the sound of my voice are not succeeding, not because we're bad people. I talked about it earlier. Our motive is pure, but our methods are wrong. They were doing things the wrong way. And Jesus would release a sermon on the first Sunday of the year to encourage you to stop doing stuff the wrong way. He's not coming from on top of the mountain to make you feel bad. He ain't gonna do you like family. He ain't gonna do you like folks and put you on blast and make you feel small so they can feel better. He walks down on the water just to show them, hey, stop doing it that way. You're making it harder on yourself. And I know you want to be involved. I know you want to be doing something. I know you don't like handouts. But guess what? You can't keep doing it that way. That's the wrong way. No. You can't do it like that. No, 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 no. That's not real love. You like him. He don't like you. No, 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 no. You can't keep telling her everything and allowing her to have your heart, bro. She ain't the one. Because she listens good so that she can bring it up later. Stop being a victim. No, you're not a victim. You're not a victim. You chose that. So choose better and you won't have to deal with that no more. You don't get amens on stuff like that. He says, no, 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 no. You're doing it the wrong way. Y'all remember Karate Kid? Well, maybe you don't. Maybe I'm just old. And Karate Kid. And he out there. And he wanted Mr. Miyagi. I'm talking about old school Karate Kid. I ain't with this new school. I'm talking about old thug, like old school Karate Kid. Wax on? Wax off. Oh, I'm talking about wax on. Wax off. Karate Kid. I ain't talking about that just swish, swish. I'm talking about wax on. Wax off. And let Mr. Miyagi come out there and Daniel's son doing willy-nilly. His way. No, 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 Daniel's son. Wax on. Wax off. And then he had him out there painting the gate. Up, down. You go up, you go down. You go up. Y'all play too much. You ain't never seen the old school Karate Kid. Get your life together. You need to see it before you go to heaven. Let me get out of here. But it didn't make sense when he was just painting the gate because he wanted to paint the gate his way. But then when it came to time to fight what a name at the Woody Wop, by the what a name, he told him, Daniel's son, wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off, paint the gate. Ah! Daniel's son put a beating on Buddy with his leg broke. I'm going somewhere with this. There's a method. There's a way. I'm glad you're laughing. But we be bucking when we be like, wax on, wax off. Forgive her. Run away from him. Don't answer that call. Don't go over there. And we be like, no. God like, yes, wax on. Here's what's amazing though. They doing it wrong, but he comes to them so they can get it better. Because listen, I think all these people wanted each other to succeed. But sis, sometimes we got the wrong people rowing with us. Because I used to say, if we row together, we can grow together. But I really don't think that's true. Because if all the people on your boat want to do it your way, and they stuck in one way, and nobody ever challenges you to do it different, everybody on the boat was rowing wrong. Wasn't one person on the boat to say, bruh, we need to get ahead. Nobody said, bro, we need to get our life together. We can't just get high all next year. We need to do something. Like, bro, all our boyfriends are horrible. All our girlfriends are not. Like, we need to do, like, somebody need to say, like, bro, we broke again. But nobody on the boat said nothing. So Jesus, and you know the preachers will say, oh, well, get them off the boat. Well, man, they going to drown. How that's going to help the situation if my friends drown? Why don't somebody just get us to Jesus? So we can all, you should see your face, so we can all row differently. They was rowing wrong. They were rowing wrong. I'm taking too long on this, but they were rowing wrong. Yeah. Somebody shout, move on. So check it out. Here comes Jesus. You still with me? I mean, like, I'm going over my time. Here comes Jesus between 3 and 6 in the morning. Are you listening, Shalia? Here comes Jesus between 3 and 6 in the morning, walking on the sea. The verb tense depicts a steady progress. Check it out. The verb tense depicts a steady progress. So Jesus is unhindered by the waves. It's good to know that what used to hinder me can't hinder the Messiah. It's good to know that I'm connected to a God that even though the stuff hindered me, if I connect to him, it ain't going to hinder him. Yeah. Yeah, it's good to know that it don't have to hinder me. Check this out. It was dark. Say dark. Let me check my room. It was dark. How dark was it? It was dark. Let me tell you it was dark. Because the darkest hour of the day is between 3 to 6 in the morning. 3 to 6. That's the darkest hour. But I also know that the darkest hour is just before day. So here it is. They've been doing something wrong for a long time. They've been doing it wrong for a long time. And at the darkest time, that's when Jesus steps in. When it looked like it couldn't get no worse, that's when Jesus steps in. He steps in at the darkest hour. Somebody put it like this. They say he may not come when you want him to. Yeah. But he'll be there on time because he's a what? He's an on-time God. Yes, he is. He is an on-time God. I have good news today. If you're in the darkest season of your life, know that you're not alone. His eyes are always on you. Proverbs 15:3. Only got 2 points today. You ain't got to worry about it. Proverbs 15:3 says, the eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. Listen, God's gonna come see about you. The second thing, this is what was amazing. He didn't just come down, but he calmed down the entire situation. And I think this one gonna help you more than the first point helped you. But I gotta smash the gas because some of us up under the sound of my voice really just need to calm down. We have been making too many emotional decisions. We have been in our feelings so much, wearing our feelings on our sleeves, that we weren't able to make the right decision. Listen, it's crazy. I don't know if you know some folks like this, but some folks just know what to say or what not to say just to calm you down. This is a cold move in the scripture, and that's why I can only give you 2 points today, because this thing was cold. Jesus left from praying to the Father to come see about you, and he walks on water when you're dealing with things the worst. He walks on water, and this is what made it so cold. He peeps what they're going through. He comes from the top of the mountain. He walks on the very water, on the very thing that was contrary in their life. And then verse 48 blows me away, because verse 48, it almost make it look like my first point I was lying, because verse 48 said he come to him, but it says he was going to pass by them, or he would have passed them by. Now, this don't make no sense, Nakia, until I looked a little bit further. The Bible says he would have passed them by. The more literal rendering, desired, meaning he desired to come alongside of, indicates Jesus' intention here. He wanted to test the disciples' faith. Are y'all with me? So he deliberately changed course. He was still walking. He was still walking on the water. He was still unhindered, but he intentionally, deliberately changed course and came parallel to the boat to see if they would recognize him and his supernatural power and invite him aboard. Check this out. Contrary to popular belief, this point you can't miss. God is a perfect gentleman. The Holy Spirit is a perfect gentleman. God ain't gonna force nothing on you. Mama and them and people tried to make you do stuff, but God ain't forcing himself on you. Who want to be in a relationship with somebody you got to force, make them call you and make them check on you and make them do something? No. You ought to want to do this, baby. So Jesus, he's walking on water, but instead of him walking directly to them, he wants to come alongside them. He wants to come parallel to what they're dealing with. He wants them to invite him on the boat. I don't care how bad your boat look, you better invite Jesus on your boat. I don't care how crazy things look, and I don't care how crazy your marriage, your kids, your finance. I don't care how bad it look, you better invite Jesus on your boat. I'm preaching better than you responding, but you better invite Jesus on your boat. Keep trying to row your boat wrong if you want to. Jesus came that you might have life, and that you might have life more abundantly. It's time to let Jesus on your boat. It's time to invite him in. Look at Jesus challenging the disciples in their faith, consistently walking on what others fear, calming the people he's called to. The wind was contrary, but Jesus wasn't. He just wanted to help. The disciples' method and mindset needed to be dealt with. Check out what Jesus says. We're out of here. Jesus says, be of good cheer. Have courage. It is I. He like, hey, it's me. Life can throw so much at you. And you could be so used to doing things a certain way that you start calling what Jesus is doing wrong. You start calling who he allowed to leave your destiny. You start mismanaging the very things he's placed in front of you. I love him, them, that. Jesus like, calm down, it's me. Calm down, relax. Calm down, take a chill pill. Relax. I got you. 1 John 4:4 says, you are of God, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Luke 12:31 says, but rather seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added to you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Here it goes. God knows what you need. Hey, God knows what you need. Remember New Year's Eve, God already got a plan to give you what you need. Here's what you need to do. Talk to God about it. Here's what you need to do. Invite him in the areas you're successful. Invite him in the areas you fail. Here's the deal. Let's not keep no secrets like he don't see what's going on. Hey, listen to me. Here's the deal. God knows what you need. He sits high. He looks low. He knows what you need. If he walked on water for the disciples, what you think he'd do for you? If Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown in a fiery furnace and left for dead, and he came, he didn't bring them out the fire immediately. He went in the fire with them. Listen, because while they were in the fire, he was able to burn off all the impurities. While they were in the fire, he was able to burn off everything in them that should not be, so that when he brought them out, they would be better. And somebody up on the sound of my voice, you may be in a hot situation right now, and you wondering why God ain't brought you out yet. But maybe, just maybe, he allowed you to stay in that thing long enough to get all of that stuff off of you. One thing I learned about being in the fire, Nakia, I learned when I was in the fire. I learned when I was broke. I learned when I was sick what was supposed to be there all the time. I learned while I was broke who would look out for me. I learned while I was sick who would come see about me. I learned while I was in the fire who really cared all the way. And sometimes God allows us to go in hot situations. Sometimes God allows us to go in places and things that we don't understand, just so he can show us that he was there all the time. Stop getting mad at people. God knows what you need. Stop begging people for stuff that they ain't gonna give you no way. God knows what you need. This text is amazing to me, because they could have kept doing the same thing wrong forever, but God loved them so much, he came and seen about them, and then he calmed down the situation. And listen, next week, that's next week, he made everything clear. Here's the deal. Maybe, just maybe, as I close, maybe this whole preaching today, and maybe everything Jesus did, wasn't about the winds. Maybe it wasn't about the water. Maybe it wasn't about the waves. Maybe this was about you becoming emotionally stable. I'm not preaching to them. I'm talking to you. If you hear, I'm talking to you. Maybe all of this happened for you to become, you can play softly, for you to become emotionally stable. You'll be surprised what people really love God. Their emotions all over the place.